The Honourable Nanaia Mahuta.
Tuatahi tēnei ka tāpiri atu aku mihi kia koutou katoa e uru mai nei I roto I tēnei tō koutou nei whare. Ki te whakarongo ki tēnei āhuatanga te whakaturingia a koutou kaupapa I mui te araro o te paremata. Nō reira, kia koutou katoa tēnā koutou. Me tuku mihi kia koutou ngā whanaunga o Ngati toi ki te I a koe taku kaumata iwi, kōrua ko Machu, nei te mihi mai oha kia koutou e kawea nei nei kaupapa I tēnei wā. Mr. Speaker, it gives me great pleasure to be able to support the third and final reading of the Ngati Toa Rangatira Claims Settlement Bill. And with that, as members in the House have reflected on history, it's an opportunity for each member who has participated in the Māori Affairs Select Committee to reflect on their connection in some way to what has been considered at the Select Committee with the passage and consideration of each treaty settlement. In this particular regard, I reflect on my own history and connection and in some humble way, consider that as I've grown up as a child and tried to pursue and find out more and more about who I am, one cannot get away from the matrix of histories of our peoples within the Tainui Waka region. With that said, there are stories that you grow up with that are a part of your identity and how you relate to people and places and events. And you cannot grow up within Tainui Waka without hearing about Te Rauparaha, whether it is his exploits as a mature man and his fighting prowess, or the nature of his departure from Kawhia, or his illustrious birth, and the significance of what the old people at that time had seen in the marriage that took place between Te Rauparaha's parents, but more importantly, the intent with which Te Rauparaha was raised and things that were foretold of his lifetime. And I reflect actually on my Maniapoto connection. And you cannot, again, as I grew up, you heard about this man, Te Rauparaha, who was strong. And when he departed from Kawhia, all through Ngati Mahuta, Maniapoto, Tūwhare Toa, Ngati Raukawa, and right down Ngati Kauwhata, Ngati Raukawa ki te Tonga, all the way down to the top of the south, you will hear a number of stories from families who recount how their tupuna joined the heke and then connecting them on the rampage or the exploits, however you'd like to refer to it, but they were significant from Kawhia all the way down the North Island into the south. And I, with some pride and some trepidation, think to myself that Te Rauparaha has left more than a footprint but a legacy, and it goes beyond kamate. But the fact that kamate is now reflected on by Māori and Pākehā alike within New Zealand and outside of New Zealand, in our kohanga reo, in our schools and in our universities, certainly strengthens the way in which our stories and our connections can be told and retold. Many members have made the point better than I can, but I certainly want to recognise that. For the purposes of this third reading debate, I want to I want to set and record the apology of the Crown to Toa Rangatira, so that when their children come back to reflect on what their parents and grandparents did to settle, why it was so important. Mr. Speaker, Clause 426 of the bill reads, "The text of the apology set out in the deed of settlement is as follows. The Crown recognises that a number of Ngati Toa Rangatira, including Te Rauparaha and Te Rangi Haiatea, signed Te Tiriti o Waitangi, the Treaty of Waitangi in 1840. The Crown profoundly regrets that it has not always lived up to its obligations to Ngati Toa Rangatira under Te Tiriti o Waitangi. Accordingly, the Crown makes this apology to Ngati Toa Rangatira, to their ancestors, to their descendants. The Crown unreservedly apologises for the breaches of Te Tiriti o Waitangi and its principles which have hurt and caused prejudice to Ngati toa Rangatira. The Crown is deeply sorry for its actions and intentionally undermined the mana and rangatiratanga of leading Ngati toa Rangatira chiefs. In particular, the Crown apologises for its indefinite detention of Te Rauparaha and deeply regrets that it has failed until now to acknowledge this injustice in an appropriate manner. The Crown profoundly regrets and apologises for its actions that left Ngati toa Rangatira with few land holdings by 1865 and its ongoing failure to protect their remaining land holdings, which has left Ngati toa Rangatira virtually landless and unable to access customary resources and significant sites. The Crown deeply regrets the cumulative effect of its actions and omissions which severely damaged Ngati toa Rangatira, social and traditional tribal structures, their autonomy and ability to exercise customary rights and responsibilities, their capacity for economic and social development and physical, cultural and spiritual well-being. With this apology, the settlement, the Crown seeks to atone for these wrongs, restore its tarnished honour and begin the process of healing. The Crown hopes that this apology and settlement will mark the beginning of a new, positive and enduring relationship with Ngati toa Rangatira, founded on mutual trust and cooperation and respect for Te Tiriti o Waitangi and its principles. Mr Speaker, I set this in record for the future generation of toa Rangatira to ensure that a treaty settlement can be durable to the aspirations of their grandparents, their parents, their tupuna in coming to this day. I also set this in record as an opportunity for those members of Parliament who often will listen to these debates but not really grab the full intent of it, to know that the significance of a Crown apology can be huge, both reflective but also prospective when we think about how to make the settlement continue to work and evolve in the way that it was intended to. With coming to the substance of the bill, I had a look at the statutory areas that are included. And it should be noted that there are a significant number of areas that statutory acknowledgements are made, but more importantly, where they intersect with local government, with the Resource Management Act, with the Conservation Management Act, because this is a real opportunity to evolve the settlement into a different working relationship. Some of that has already taken place. It hasn't needed to wait till the settlement to secure that. However, with statutory acknowledgements, the ongoing commitment of various local councils to improve its relationship with the toa Rangatira in relation to these sites will be greatly enhanced. And I only need look at the Pāwatahanui Wildlife Reserve, Lake Rotoiti and Lake Rotoroa in the Nelson Lakes, the Wairau Pā, as just but some of those particular areas. The other unique part of the settlement, Mr Speaker, is the Ngā Paihau sites. There are three of them, the Kapiti Island, the Brothers and Wairau Lagoons. And importantly, it ensures that there is an opportunity in the ongoing management and setting of plans for these areas. I've come to the end of my contribution, and I would really like to say at this point, if children in Kohanga Reo today grow up learning kamate kamate, and stand with pride in knowing who they are and where they come from, and can share a little bit of the history of what connects them to this leader or the leadership attributes of Te Rauparaha, or the places and the exploits that he has undertaken, then New Zealand is in good stead. Tēnā koutou katoa.
Mr Speaker.
I recognise the Honourable Member Claudette Hoiti. Tēnā